I've got such a very practical topic for you today, why paying attention to details pays off. Last night, the moon went into Virgo, where it is shifting energy as we head into tomorrow's new moon in Virgo. We are completing the moon cycle that began with the Leo new moon. Leo is focused on themes of creativity, self-expression, doing your work, sharing, shining your light. And so we've been discussing that throughout this moon cycle and how each different moon sign brings a different component of that. And also as the moon waxes to full and reveals something and then wanes again back to new, just kind of that in breath and that out breath that the planets bring us, and especially the moon. So this month's in breath and out breath have been focused on our self-expression, who we're being in the world and how we are shining our light. So today, the moon shifts into Virgo. Actually, my time, Pacific time, it went into Virgo last night before midnight. And the last couple of days, so the videos for Monday, September 11th and 12th have been a little bit more focused on the Leo energy, and you may want to check out those videos if you missed them. Just looking at self-expression, how we've been sort of completing some themes for this month. And of course, on Sunday, September 10th, I did a video on what to expect this week with the Mercury retrograde and the new moon coming up tomorrow. So I'm Marina Ormes. This is your Astro vibe for Wednesday, September 13th. And with the moon now in Virgo, we're shifting gears. We are shifting from that theme of how are we being seen, how are we presenting ourselves, how are we putting it out there, to how do we take what we've been putting out there and make it useful, make it more of service. And so it brings in that Virgo humility, that attention to details, that willingness to improve, to work on things, to roll up our sleeves and do what we need to do to continue to make things better. And really, Virgo gets a bad rap, right? It's like, it's nitpicky, it's detail oriented. Nobody wants to be told that they're wrong or that they have something they could do better at, right? It's like not fun. Okay, but let's talk about why Virgo energy is just, I love Virgo energy. It is magic. Virgo is magic. And Virgo is one of the most, like, it's the most human in many ways of the signs, right? It's like, it's who we are. It's what we get to do in this human body. It's like, it's the ability to take a lump of clay and shape it into a beautiful pot and make it art, right? Art that can last for, we're digging up beautiful pots that people made tens of thousands of years ago, right? So that is our capacity as human beings. It's what we do, it's who we are. And we do the day-to-day stuff not because it gets all the glory, but because it's useful, because it accomplishes something that helps us. Because it makes our bodies healthier, it makes our beings feel better. It helps things be more effective, efficient. It helps us to create beauty. If you can imagine the most incredibly beautiful thing that is created by human beings, like, I don't know, what's coming to my mind is like some giant cathedral or a beautiful tapestry. And when you think about these things, it's like that beauty doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It takes a lot of hours of human power takes a lot of attention to detail. And how amazing and sacred is that human capacity that we have to pay attention to the details and to get them right and to make something long lasting, beautiful, effective, efficient, and transformative in its beauty. Okay, so I got a little bit on my soapbox about Virgo. So how attending to details, and today's theme, why attending to details pays off, is because of all of those things. It's like when we recognize that we as human beings have this capacity to see where things could be improved, to work on them, and to make them better. It is the chop wood and carry water sign of the zodiac. You may have heard that before, but it's really true. It's like, why would you chop wood and carry water? To take care of your body, to take care of your needs, so that your children are safe and healthy and warm and all have water, all those things, right? It's like, it's very, very practical. And so that Virgo energy is where we're at today. We are thinking about how, as we come to the last day of this moon cycle, ready tomorrow to hit that reset point with a new moon, we're completing the month, the moon cycle that is about creativity and self-expression, and we're asked to shift gears and think about, how is this useful? How is this of service? How is this helpful? And so thinking about your own creative process, your own self-expression, your art, your creative problem solving, whatever that is for you, whether it shows up in your work, in your self-expression, in the way that you live your life, in how you share with your colleagues at work, or with your customers, or with your patients, or whatever you do. So it's that way that you show up in your own being with your own flair and style, your own way of doing things. And now we're taking that work that we've been doing on how we express ourselves, and we're being asked to think about, who is that helping? How is it helping them? How is it of service? And how can we think about it in ways that help it to be even more useful? And that's going to be the theme that we're beginning with tomorrow's new moon, as we enter into a new moon cycle. And with Mercury retrograde in Virgo, the moon today also is passing by Mercury, forming a conjunction with Mercury that is retrograde in Virgo, asking us to go back, look at what we've already done, and ask ourselves, how can we do it better? How can we undo, redo, reconsider, rethink, reevaluate? How can we have that opportunity to look at what we've already done and what we could improve about it? Also looking at our plans, our vision, our thinking about what's important. What could we improve about that? How could we make it more helpful, more useful? So even as you think about your intentions, and those of you who have been following me for months or even years know that we work on intentions with every new moon. That's how we're going to make the most of the moon cycle, is by setting clear intentions, positive intentions for what we want to create, manifest, align with, right? So what we're choosing that we want to call in. And with those intentions, you might want to be thinking about, well, how can my intentions for this month, my intentions might be to be more useful, to be of service, to be helpful, to be more beautiful, more, better, more better. And so how can we perfect what we already have, what we're already working on, what we want to be? How can we step more fully into what we want to be and why we want to be that way? So again, not from a place of like it has to be exactly this way and having control and understanding everything, but more from a place of trust in the process, of a willingness to step back, a willingness to have that spirit of humility and asking, it's not about me. How can I make this better? And so how attending to those details is going to help you. It can prevent more problems, right? And so if you saw last Sunday's video, it was September 10th. You may want to go back and review that one because it had sort of an overview of the energies of this week. And I was talking about how we can sometimes, if we're not present and paying attention to the details, we go along and along and along, and all of a sudden we realize, whoa, okay, I made a mistake 12 steps back, and now I got to undo everything back to that point, right? If you've ever done knitting or crochet, you made a mistake back there, you have to undo all your work, right? Same thing with computers. You lose your backup. Now you got to redo your work. Well, on the one hand, that's a real bummer because it takes a lot of time and you put a lot into it in the first place. But on the other hand, it also gives you an opportunity to do it again, and it might be better. It might be better the second time you do it. Not saying you want to achieve that or that you want to redo it. It's better if we can just go back and look at our work again and make sure we save it and make sure it's backed up, and also take that time to reread what we've written, check for typos, check that it comes across the way we want it to come across. And so on. So that's just writing as an example, but there are so many different ways in life that energy might show up, and how we want to pay attention to the details, because it does create a more powerful, a more effective, a more beautiful, and a more impactful final product. So thank you for listening to me. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all your thoughts and sharing. And thank you so much for subscribing and for your support for this channel. You can learn more about me at astrologyheals.com. I'll be back tomorrow to talk about the Virgo new moon, the moon cycle that we are beginning. But today's thoughts were, you got some of my deeper insights into Virgo and how we can kind of think about it in ways that are more powerful. So thanks for being here. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.